stop running! You are so dead if you don't stop running. So stop running, hide behind that tree, and control your breathing, you utter fool! Because there's a pack of werewolves about to run past you. Now, fortunately for you, just like the way I'm speaking to you, I am using my telepathy to mask your scent. So before you ask why am I shouting, I'm not shouting. The only person who can hear this is you. Until I reveal myself, obviously. It's rather a pain using telepathy. It takes a lot of my soul energy. But yes, as long as you stay still, don't make a sound, you'll be fine. Now, have they run past? Good. I'm gonna reveal myself now. You're an idiot. You know that? You're a complete idiot. I was chasing you because I was trying to help you. I wasn't trying to kill you like you claimed. I was trying to save you. This forest is very, very dangerous. Have you not heard all the rumors, all the disappearances? Well, they're true, okay? I can't even imagine why you'd come in here, especially not at night. This place is filled with werewolves, vampires, ghosts, ghouls, demons of all kinds. There's even sirens in the lake. You're an idiot for coming here. Why are you here, actually? You're a paranormal investigator. You heard this was one of the most haunted places in the world and you decided to check it out. Jesus, so basically your job title is complete fool. Is that right? I'm not being mean to you. You're the one who's in the middle of a goddamn haunted forest who nearly just got eaten by wolves. God, you think I'm the one that's the problem? You are such an idiot. I'm trying to help you, okay? Granted, I did come off a little too strong, and I did chase you. But what else was I supposed to do? You were walking into certain danger. Fortunately though, the werewolf pack has gone, and this part of the forest isn't actually that bad. If you'd have carried on though, you'd have been well and truly dead. Werewolves love the taste of human flesh. Even though they are technically human, they'll still eat you for dinner in a heartbeat. Now, let old Jack escort you out. Yes, I'm going to take you out of this place, because if you carry on here doing whatever you're doing, you'd be dead, alright? Let's go. Why do I have a pumpkin head? I can't believe it took you this long to ask, actually. Glad to see you're very perceptive. I have a pumpkin head because I was cursed. If you haven't guessed, I'm an evil spirit. Well, I am a spirit. I was evil at one point. I am technically still evil, but I'm not. I had a change of heart recently, and look, I'm trying to help people now, okay? I used to haunt people, I used to scare people, I used to lure people into this forest actually, but I don't anymore. So, just take that at face value and stop asking dumb questions. I have a pumpkin head because I'm a spirit. Now, carry on, let's go. Do you want to know my story? Why do I have to do this every time I help somebody out? Fine. My name's Jack, okay? Yes, like a jack-o'-lantern. My name's Jack, alright, but my last name's not Lantern. Come to think of it, I don't actually know what my last name is. I forgot it. So long ago, since anybody used it. Look, we've got some time to kill, so I suppose I don't mind talking to you. Listen, I'm going to tell you my story. Just because I know you're going to ask a ton of questions on this walk, and it's going to get really annoying. So do you want that? Do you want me to tell you my whole backstory? No, I expected as much. I have a pumpkin head because of a situation that took place when I was alive. So, to begin with, this took place hundreds of years ago, back in my hometown. I was a blacksmith by trade. Not a particularly good one, but I was a blacksmith nonetheless. And I was also known as a drunkard and a fiend. I didn't have a shred of humanity in my body. I was a trickster, a con man, and a piece of shit. Everybody hated me. I mean, they really hated me. The amount of attempts on my life I had to suffer. But I always got the better of them. Anyway, the devil somehow, and yes, he does exist, caught wind of my exploits, my bacchanalia, and decided to collect my soul himself. My time had come. I'd drank my last sip and, well, all my organs had gave up on me, which was expected, especially given my age at the time. I'm not telling you my age because it's none of your business, but, yeah. So, the devil turned up, he announced himself like a fool, told me who he was, and told me what he was going to do. He'd come to collect my evil, wicked soul. But he was impressed by me, I've got to say. He actually found me quite amusing. He was even, to a certain degree, somewhat sympathetic towards me. He knew I was just a wild animal. He knew I was just a carnal creature, someone that couldn't help themselves. So, I asked him. I said, look, before you take me to hell, can I get one last drink? He said, sure, pointed towards my liquor cabinet, but I said, not there. That's not where I like to drink. I like to drink at the tavern down the road. Now, that wasn't true. But, you know, I thought I'd experiment a little bit here. See how far I could push it. He gave me an inch, I'm going to take a mile. That's how I always did things. So the devil was no different in that regard. Anyway, he obliged, weirdly. He said, sure, I'll take you for a drink, and then it's off to hell. I said, sound. I'm all for it. Now, we went to the tavern, and we started drinking. But I said, you know what? Can I get one more drink? I mean, we're having such a good conversation here. Let's have one more drink. And he said, you know what? I've got all the time in the universe, so sure. That happened about 19 times in a row. By the 20th drink, the devil, he wasn't inebriated. Neither really was I, to be honest. I was an alcoholic, so that was nothing to me. But, the bar was closing. The barkeep come up to me and said, time to pay your tab. I said, sure. Checked my pockets and I couldn't find any money. So I looked over at the devil and I said, listen, you're taking me to hell right now, so do you reckon you could help me out? Pay this guy handsomely and we'll get going. Be easier that way. He said, yeah, okay, I can help you out. He was more curious at this point as to what was going to happen. I mean, he didn't have to do any of this, but he'd already come this far and he thought, yeah, alright then, I'll see what happens. So he turned himself into a gold coin. Now, I had a crucifix around my neck. I pulled the crucifix off and I wrapped it around the coin tightly. You know, like the lace of the necklace. Wrapped it around the coin so the crucifix and the coin were fully connected. The devil said, what are you doing? Which is really weird to talk to a coin, but I was a drunk. People have seen me talk to worse. Pulled out an actual gold coin and I paid the barkeep. The devil was trapped. He screamed bloody murder, called me a trickster, he even called me a devil, which is quite ironic, and I trapped him. And I said to him, if I release you now, I want your word that you'll give me another 10 years of living, without interference from you or death. He said, well, rather begrudgingly, yes, I agree. And then he went on to say people who trick the devil never live very long and, Gave me this whole spiel about how he'll get his revenge and, you've always got to pay the devil his due and all that shit. And I was like, okay, fair enough. So I released him. He gave me those 10 years and things were great. 10 more years of conning people, scamming people and drinking myself into a black hole. Well, of course, 10 years doesn't last very long, so at the end of the 10 years, he came back, and this time he did not have a smile on his face. He looked really angry. And he was after my soul. He grabbed me by the scruff of the neck and said, "Come on, we're going down." And I said, wait. One more thing. Now, the way he looked at me, my God, if looks could kill. You do not want to be looked at by the devil like that. But, once again, I was a trickster. I didn't care about anything. So I said to him, listen, in those past 10 years, I've gained a lot of humanity. I've become a caring man. I've become an honest man. And he looked so pissed off. He couldn't be bothered with my shit. But he still listened. And I said, listen, there's an apple tree out there, just in my garden, pointed to it, which there was. There lies my mother. Those apples sprouted from her ashes. And I've had one every single day. They help me maintain my soul. So, if you'd give me... And I said, look, you don't have to, but if you just gave me the opportunity just to have one more of those apples, because they're in bloom, they're in blossom right now. They're ripe. I will walk down to hell with you gladly, like an old friend. He raised an eyebrow. My God, did he raise an eyebrow. But he brought it. He brought it. So I was like, okay, come on, let's go. In a soft, low, humbling voice. I hadn't had a drink that day, so it kind of added to the argument. I didn't stink of booze. Went out to the apple tree after he agreed, and I tried to reach for it, and I said, I need to get my stepladders. And he said, you don't have time to get your stepladders. And I said, but I can't reach them by myself. I actually could. And the devil was like, fine, I'll get the apple then. And I was like, are you sure? And he was like, yes, I'll get the apple. So he climbed up the tree. His claws are super sharp, you see, so he was able to climb up the tree very easily. And when he did, I let out such a cunning laugh. Pulled a knife out of my pocket and carved crucifixes into the tree so he couldn't get down. Wow, that was one angry demon, let me tell you that. Now, he was cursing me, cursing my family, saying he was going to destroy the earth because of me. He was so angry. But I said, listen, before you get mad, all I'm going to say is I've got an offer for you. Wow, you should not do this to the devil, so don't try this at home, okay? Mr. or Mrs. whatever you are, paranormal investigator, just do not do this to the devil because it's bad news. Anyway, I said, I'll remove the crucifixes if you make it so I can't go to hell. He paused for a second. Now, to be honest, I thought he was going to destroy the tree and just choke me down and send me to hell, but no, he didn't. He laughed at me. And he said, the devil always gets his due. He said, that is perfect, that's fine by me. And I said, what do you mean? He said, I'll make it so you can't go to hell in a heartbeat. That's nothing. And I said, okay. I was like, do you promise? And he was like, sure do. You are completely immune from hell. Laughing at me. And I was like, maybe the devil's an idiot. So, I removed the crucifixes, and... well, the devil left. I didn't think nothing of it, so I went back to work, went back to drinking, went back to conning people. Eventually, I pissed off the wrong people, and I got stabbed to death. When I died, I awoke at the doors of heaven. I went to walk in, and the angel that greeted me told me I was in the wrong place. And I said, I'm immune from hell, I'm not in the wrong place. The angel said, no, you are, and I went to attempt to trick the angel, and well, the angel cast me down to hell. Now, I went to the doors of hell thinking, ugh, the devil pulled one over on me. I had no idea how much he'd pulled one over on me. The devil was waiting there, actually, waiting to greet me. So, I said, "Hi, old friend, are you gonna let me in?" And he said, "No, you're immune from hell, remember?" Laughing, his deep, bellowing laugh. And I said, "Wait, what?" And he said, "You're immune from hell. I'm gonna give you this as a little consolation prize, though." And he gave me a pumpkin with a scary face carved into it, and a candle that would never burn out. And I said, "What am I supposed to do with this?" And he said, "That's gonna help you out as you walk the plains of Earth forever." And I said, What do you mean?" And then he cast me up. And ever since, I've been trapped in this forest with this lantern, walking the earth without a friend, without a soul, without anything. No love, no life, just sheer purgatory. And in the end, the devil won. So that's my story. That's the story of Stingy Jack, or so I was known. That's your question? Why's the pumpkin on my head? Well, I got real tired of carrying it, but I still needed a light to see, so I tore off my own head and grafted it on top. And, well, it's worked ever since. My eyeballs are in there somewhere. I did a bit of a bodge job with it, but at least I don't have to carry it anymore, I suppose. Why do I talk like I'm from now times? What, you mean like my accent and my colloquials? Listen, I've spoke to an awful lot of humans in my time, both alive and dead, and, well, I exist in now time. You're not the only human I've spoken to, and, well, I've picked up a lot of colloquials and slangs since then, and that's why I talk like I do now. Like, you would, I guess. Why, is that not to your liking? Doth thou want me to speak in an old Shakespearean accent? Would that be more to your behest, kind sir? Yeah, exactly. It's fucking annoying, isn't it? Oh, by the way, are you sir or are you ma'am? Ah, right, cool. Alright. Yeah, I know, there was, yeah. I'm getting really bad at telling gender nowadays, so I just kind of call everybody whatever. But still, that's why I talk normally, because it's annoying to talk to you in an old-fashioned accent, plus that's not my accent now. You know, even for an immortal ghost, time moves on. Still, that is my story. Now, we are approaching close to the edge of the forest, and I am going to walk you out, and you are not going to do any more stupid paranormal investigations in this place ever again. That will be your penance for this. Yeah, well, that's a good decision. I'm glad you came to it. Idiot. Why did I have a change of heart? Oh, you mean why did I stop walking humans to their death? Well, initially, I got cast down by both heaven and hell, so I wanted to get my own back and, you know, kill people. And that's why people started putting out jack-o'-lanterns, because they thought it would protect them from me, but it actually did nothing, to be honest. If anything, it lighted my path towards them. Anyway, the reason why I had a change of heart was because I've never had much humanity. I've never been the sort of person to feel sorry for anybody. But, there was a girl, a young girl. I think she might have been 4 or 5, I think. And, she wandered into the forest, accidentally. She'd lost her way. And I saw her as the youngest person that I'd ever seen in this forest. Most of the people I walked to the deaths were, 21 plus. And, she came up to me. I didn't have to chase her, I didn't have to follow her. She came up to me and she was nice to me. She liked my pumpkin head, and she asked if I knew the way out because she was cold. And I'd never had anyone not scream at me before. I'd never had anyone treat me with respect before. Not living, not dead. And, I tried to scare her, like the monster I am, and she just laughed. She thought I looked cool. And she said when she gets out of here, she wants to draw me. She just got some new crayons. And I said, well, your parents would probably be scared of that, won't they? And, she didn't have any parents. She grew up with nothing, like me. She was in the foster system, and, she'd run away because her foster parents were abusive. And she was so fucking sweet. And so kind. She wasn't like me at all. She wasn't a monster. And, well, it just clicked all of a sudden. I became good. I realised there was good in this world. And I just broke down. So I picked her up, carried her on my shoulders, and took her to the edge of the forest. I can't leave this forest. But I promised her she'd be safe. There were police cars looking for her. So I, took her to the police. Police couldn't see me. She told them she was rescued by the Pumpkinhead. And, I'm sure the police just assumed it was the child's musings, you know? But, I watched them take her away and she waved. And she was so freaking happy. And I decided from then on I was going to be good. I was going to live the way that she saw me. That night she saw me as a hero. She saw the warmth from my jack-o'-lantern as protective. So I'm helping you, not because of you. I couldn't give two shits about you, but because of her. I hope to God the foster system did their fucking job and took her somewhere good. Because my God, does she deserve good. I promised her she'd always be safe, as long as she put out a jack-o'-lantern during Halloween. She said she always will. And that's when I had a change of heart. Because I realised there was good in this world. And now I am a reformed evil spirit, helping idiots like you. If ever you come across a young girl called Emma, tell her the Pumpkinhead still thinks about her. And he wishes her all the best. Wait, what? How long ago was it? Gotta have been about 28 years ago, I'd say. Why? You've got a friend called Emma, who swears blind that she was rescued by a Pumpkinhead as a kid. Wait, what? After she was taken away, the police investigated the family, and she was removed from that family and taken somewhere good. And now she helps you on your missions? That's why you're both paranormal investigators. No, that can't be right. No, that's bullshit. You're just lying. Blonde hair and blue eyes. And a freckle on her nose. Oh my god. That is Emma. She's your friend? Why isn't she here? She warned you not to go here because it's dangerous. She was a smart girl. She is a smart girl. How is she doing? Is she doing well? She's out to prove that I exist. But because I told her never to come back to this forest, she won't come here. She's such a good girl. When you see her, tell her I said hi. She said she never had a dad, but sometimes when kids ask who her dad was, she says Pumpkinhead. We're here now. Take care of Emma for me, okay? Yeah. Take care of her for me. And don't bring her back here, okay? No, I know. But this place is dangerous. I can't cover the whole forest. The fact that you run into me was like a 1 in a million chance. So, if you do see her, tell her my original promise still stands, not to ever come back to this forest. But also tell her that I'm so fucking proud of her. I would be crying if I had tear ducts. But... screw it, I am crying. Well, you're safe now. Go back home. Go tell my Emma I said hi. I'm so fucking proud of her. That doesn't detract from the fact that you're an idiot, though. Just realised. Look at the Dane. Happy Halloween. And farewell.